Oh my God.
Okay, we're live, guys, and sorry for that mess up earlier. We did not, we were trying a new platform.
Are we
And
sure? Oh, yes. Okay.
yeah, we're live.
We are. No, sometimes it takes a second to pop up.
No, we're live right when it says it is. Okay, so I believe we're live right now. Always a challenge on Zoom. We were trying a new platform and unfortunately did not know it well enough to make it work.
Because we're so good on our other our other platforms.
Well, you know, one thing we have not had a problem with in a long time.
I know.
Which way our camera. Now, part of that is because we're not together using the camera.
So wait. That's a good takeaway. What it took. It took the pandemic.
Yeah.
For us to figure out how not to hold the camera, not to hold the phone.
Or for us not to figure it out, but not have it matter because we're on Zoom. There's the alternative. Okay, so yesterday, Jen and Sharon were talking about, they did do it yesterday. They usually do Wednesday, but they had a problem on Wednesday, so they did Thursday. So it wasn't Wednesday with Jen and Sharon. It was Thursday with Jen and Sharon. And they were talking about like some glitch that happened that one of them did that created a problem for their kid. And it took me to a story I probably haven't thought of in so long. So Stephanie and I were talking and we thought, well, yeah, we're up for sharing our moments, our bad, bad parenting moments might be an exaggeration, but moments that we contributed to a bad scenario that like later on becomes that very funny story that everyone laughs about. So I'll start with my story, unless you want to jump in, Steph, with yours first.
No, you can tell yours. I'm deciding between two, so that's perfect. Go ahead.
She's deciding whether she should have enough courage to say one of them. So we won't know which one she picks.
It's true.
But, yeah. So my child number 4 had a teacher one year in school that you needed to use your birthday to get into the assignments, whatever platform he was using. And she just couldn't figure it out. It was never working. And it was never working in a way that like no one would finger point to anybody, but everyone knew it was the other person's fault. Like, it's not my fault. Like you've set it up wrong, right? And so this goes on for way too long of we have to do workarounds so she can get her assignments and her feedback and her grades and everything like that.
Wait, and each is assuming that it's the other's fault, is your point?
Well, I know it's the teacher's fault and he knows it's my fault. And,
okay. Okay.
And Hannah is just out there going like, I don't care, just get me my stuff, right? So somehow he sends the birthday to me and Hannah. And we both look at it and realize it's the wrong birth date. And so, now we know that the teacher's wrong, that he typed it in wrong. And he's like, no, that's how she was registered for school with that birthday. So I registered my kid for school with the wrong birthday, but it gets even better because all of a sudden Hannah realizes a long time later that in kindergarten, one of her friend's dads had walked into school and there was a bulletin board with everybody's name and birthday. And he came up to her and he said, Hannah, I didn't realize you and I had the same birthday. And he says the date, to which she says, oh, yeah. And she's thinking to herself, I think I was born on the wrong day. I think I've been thinking that my birthday was one day. And the reason I'm not telling you is because I'm going to get it wrong again, because now it's become this thing. Anyway.
I know your daughter's birthday.
Jessica, Hannah's?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's March 6th.
Why do you know that?
Because my birthday's March 9th and I was supposed to be born on the 6th. And so it just.
Okay. So now I have someone to call.
Kind of like I know your elementary school.
Oh my God. You've got to stop. So anyway, I registered her as March 8th.
Yeah, that's not her birthday.
And so this guy's birthday was March 8th. And he says to her, we have the same birthday, to which she starts to rewrite her story and go, oh, my birthday must be March 8th.
Wait, here's my question.
Yeah.
Did you register her as a kindergartner with that birthday?
3-year-old.
And when was the story of the passwords? What year? What grade?
6th grade.
That's fantastic. That is a fantastic story.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that is a fantastic story. So yours, I would say, is mine is such a different direction.
Okay.
And I'm just going to tell it.
Oh, anyone have any comments? Put them in the comments. We'll give you a shout out if you've got a good story too.
Yeah. Okay. So this story is by a couple of my friends. I would say their assessments, their favorite story of mine. I think you've heard it, Sue, but I'm not sure. So, let's see. Zach was a sophomore in high school, had been struggling all year in whatever math he was in. And in his very laid back fashion, was like, I got it. I got it all year. I got it. Do you need help? Do you need a tutor? Nope. I got it. I got it. I got it. So end of school comes, takes his final. He's getting ready to leave for camp for the summer, and the grades come, and he didn't got it. And I just hit the roof. There's no other, right? There's no other description for it. I say to him, like, dude, your summer's in jeopardy. Like there's one way out of this, and that's to retake it, and you can't take it up in Canada, right? Not an option. So
not in Canada, because he usually goes to camp in Canada.
Yeah, he goes to camp up in Canada, excuse me. So he comes home one day, we're going in to meet with the guidance counselor, and he comes home, he's just had lunch with a friend, and he walks into the garage. And anyone who knows me, I would say my big thing with parenting is I feel like your actions have repercussions, good and bad. And firstborn too. Maybe I've laid back a bit. Who knows? We'd have to ask Lane. So comes home and he has this big smile on his face. We're about to go meet the guidance counselor, and he says, "Great news." I'm like, "What's the great news?" I'm still so mad, right? What's the great news? Great news. I just found out I can take that course actually online. I can do it wherever. Takes like a couple days, and I can, it's the quick fix. And I'm thinking, my blood, I can feel like my blood boiling, because all I can hear, like clanging, almost like, I forget, is it Rain Man? Where he's hitting himself. There's like that deafening, it's like a cacophonous sound. And all I can hear is, every word he utters, all I hear is no consequences, right? It's like beating on my head. And I'm thinking, not in my house. So we get in the car. He's not driving yet, right? He must be, because he's young for his grade. He's probably 15. I'm in the car. We live about 12 minutes from the high school, from my house, okay? And we're going to meet with the guidance counselor. So I'm in the driver's seat. Zach is next to me. And it's pretty much till you get near the school. It's a straight shot down Shaker Boulevard, down one street. I have driven for 12 minutes. And I'm going to guess probably 8 minutes, because I have a heavy foot. And I'm sure in that time I had a really heavy foot. Screaming at him, heading down Shaker Boulevard like this. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know how I did not kill both of us. Screaming my head off. My best, we still in this household, like there are imitations of it. There are like Zach it reminds me of your story about giving your kids contraceptives, and how you were describing them trying to get out of the car.
I'm going to have to respond to that in a minute. That hanging out.
Okay, we'll go back to that. Zach is trying to become one with the, how wide is the car seat? I don't know, 4 feet? It's definitely not 6 feet, but maybe 4 feet. He is like trying to plaster himself up again, because he's like, this woman is psychotic, because I was psychotic. Like completely unglued, unhinged. I don't think I've ever been like that. I hope I'm never like that again. Out of my tree.
So we could do a number of episodes on this, because I've had unhinged moments that I should not be willing to share, but I would be willing to share.
Yeah, I shared it. I've told you that story.
You have told me that story. Now I do want to just
not because I'm proud of it, just because it's unhinged.
Yeah. I want to give like a little bit of a backdrop to Stephanie's comment, because I think it's a little weird that she said, it reminds me of the story when you gave your kids condoms. So there's a story behind this. We were taking 2 kids to college, number 2 and number 3. They went to the same college, and they started the same year, because one took a gap year and one didn't. And someone else had told me that they put condoms in their daughter's suitcase when they sent her off to college. And so I said to my husband, we got to do it. So the kids get in the car, he hands them each condoms, and starts telling them his experience of going to the store, to CVS, and looking at a shelf that didn't resemble anything that he remembered, because there's like a billion options. And so he's trying to decide, like, I'm not getting them a jumbo, and I'm certainly not getting them. I mean, if they need it, then it's the dime is on, they have to spend the money. But I want it there for like the point of the conversation, the point of expressing one more time before we drop them off in college. What we didn't know is that college condoms is nothing. You can get them anywhere, but it was a great opportunity for a conversation. Anyway, he's going through like, this one's ribbed and it says for extra pleasure. And he's like, I am not involved in my kids' pleasure. Like, that's on them also. We're getting the basic here. And my kids, they say that I'm lying when I tell the story, but it wasn't hearsay. I was in the car watching. Yeah. They were inching. If you could have been like in Harry Potter on the platform and getting through doors, right? Is like, that's one of the stories, right?
Yes. Yes.
Walls, whatever.
Yep.
They were trying their best to get out of the car while it was running on the highway, if they could have. Anyway,
that was my reference.
It's one of our better family stories, but whenever we tell it with the kids around, they tell us that we have rewritten that story, but actually they've rewritten it.
And you know what's so funny? And I'm just remembering this now because this is going back a number of years, the story I just told. I remember, again, because I wasn't looking at the road, I was looking at Zach, so I remember his expressions very clearly because I was not looking where I should have been. And I remember looking at him thinking, wow, he has a look like there's some crazy woman in the car. I really remember like that moment where I'm like, that kid looks really frightened, like as if someone's coming at him like with a nut. Like, it's just so funny.
Yeah, but you probably didn't think it was you at the moment. You thought
I thought there was someone else in the car. I didn't even know what was wrong with him.
Anyway, memory's a funny thing. It often, I think, leads to laughter about like some really good moments that we have. Like I believe in round one of COVID in my house, I think like, I don't know, I hope sooner, but in a year we'll laugh at it.
Yeah.
Maybe sooner because we're going to be tested. They're coming home again. And so hopefully round two has less to laugh about and more to be joyful about. But some of our stories from round one could be on our episode a year from now.
Yeah, I think I was talking to a friend yesterday and we were saying only in COVID, like there's been like a couple of things where you're like, yeah, only in COVID could I blah, blah, blah.
Maybe that'll be next week's for us.
Yeah.
So we'd love to hear from you guys and hear what your stories are that they're much funnier in retrospect.
I think most things are.
Yeah, and also we're trying a new platform called StreamYard, and somehow we got stuck at the how to see each other and be heard on Facebook. So
yeah, I feel like we were in the upside down, like from Stranger Things, because it was like all black, but it looked like we were live, but there was...
Well, it was live. Something was live, but not us.
We were live somewhere. If you see us on another platform, let us know.
Anyway, we'll try and figure it out before we use it again. But thanks, everybody. Have a great long weekend. Happy Labor Day and back to school if you're in places that are just starting. And hopefully we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.